friends, welcome back to my channel. I am Neva. This is Reading with Neva, where we talk all things books, lifestyle, and cozy hobbies. But today is a little bit of a different video. I did post a community tab post saying that I was going to sit down and film a bit of a life update video because posting over here has been really weird. I also want to apologize to my patrons because you are supposed to be getting weekly vlogs, and while the vlogs are made, they are not edited. So we're going to talk about what I'm going to be doing going forward, and also I've gotten some questions and some DMs privately about how people can help. I'm not really sure, so maybe we can figure that out as we go. I also want to apologize. I'm on like day 4 of a really weird cold, so if I'm sniffling a lot or this video is really choppy because I have to like stop it to cough, I do apologize for that. Luckily I was able to get my hands on some vanilla Coke today, so my headache, my migraine that has been here for like 6 days is finally gone. Thank you to my brother. So let's chat, let's talk. So if you are in my close friends story on Instagram, you will already know that I dealt with a breakup in March. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail about that because I don't have any way of blocking this person from YouTube itself. So while he can no longer comment on my YouTube videos where anyone can see them, that doesn't mean that he isn't watching them, and I just don't want to deal with the drama. But the long and short of it is that he is legally not allowed to have contact with me or Ari at this point for the next year. So that is taken care of. As far as I know, he has heeded that as far as like not talking to people directly in my household and things like that. But you can never be, I guess, too cautious or too sure. So since we do live in the same town, I still am not very often routinely leaving the house by myself unless I'm going somewhere that is densely populated. Otherwise I have one of my brothers go with me, which honestly usually my brother, who is 23, usually goes with me everywhere I go anyway because he drives and I do not. So if I'm going somewhere like the grocery store, he's with me anyway to supply, you know, the vehicle. So on top of dealing with that, which has come with a lot of feelings and just having to do some extra therapy and stuff like that for the healing process, my aunt passed away last week unexpectedly. So I'm dealing with that, trying to figure out how I'm going to get to California at the beginning of July, or if that is even happening. There's a lot of like up in the air things going on because we weren't necessarily expecting her to pass. She had had some health things the last like month or so, and then it just all came to a head, I guess. So I wasn't expecting to get that phone call last week, but here we are. So what that means for this channel, because at this point YouTube is my full-time job, right? So I technically do not make any money off of YouTube at this moment, like YouTube itself. All of my money comes through Patreon, and I have completely failed at Patreon, to be honest. I do have a couple of weekly vlogs, so I know that there are people that watch obviously my YouTube channel that are also on the Patreon. So I guess if you could comment below and let me know if you want those older vlogs. One is from like 2 weeks ago, I think, and I think one is from like the week after that or something. So if you still want those, I can upload them. That's no big deal. I am currently working on a vlog, for a month-long challenge vlog for the Amazing Readathon that I'm planning on giving to Patreon a day before, so to like 24 hours before I actually post it to the main channel. Let me know if you're interested in that. Otherwise I can just post it straight to the main channel. I also am trying to figure out how to schedule Patreon sprints because I would like to do once weekly Patreon sprints, just like I do once weekly public sprints. I would like to do one public sprint a week and one that is Patreon only. So I guess give me some feedback on that as well. I'm trying to come up with some other Patreon exclusive things that I can do as well. I'm thinking probably I'm leaning into doing some challenge vlogs, and like you're already getting, like I'm already going to go back to doing the week in the lives, and these are a little bit more candid on Patreon. So there's a lot more of like behind the scenes, like true thought processy stuff that happens in those that I'm not necessarily super comfortable with sharing, where just like anyone on the internet can see it, because I can control who can see and be on Patreon itself. So I don't have to worry about people that I don't want in that community being in that community. But I do want to thank the Patreons that are still here. I think there's like 8 of you that have stuck around and still been here supporting me, even though you've not gotten what you are paying for. I truly appreciate you, because while it's not like a ton of money that comes in from Patreon, it is usually enough to supplement groceries. And right now that means literally the world, because as of right now, the only person who has, I guess, what we consider like a full-time job is my brother. So he is doing, I'm not going to say on here what his job is, but he is able to work from home. I'm not going to say what his job is just because it's his business. I don't know that he wants it shared, but he is making some money that way, and it is like work from home, so he's able to be at home and everything. Yeah, so I'm trying to be more consistent with YouTube, to try to get myself to the threshold where I can start monetizing videos. Once I'm able to do that, I think it will make my life a little bit easier. I am currently looking for like an out-of-home job that is only 2 to 3 days a week. I can't with like, we're still trying to figure out my chronic pain, which has lessened some since being able to get out of a toxic environment. However, it's not like gone. So we're still trying to figure out what exactly is going on with the chronic pain, which means that I am technically on a weight restriction. So I'm only supposed to lift about 20 to 25 pounds. That is per the doctor. This is not necessarily something that I've talked a lot about. I've talked about my chronic pain, but not like any restrictions. So working somewhere like a Taco Bell will not work well at this point, which is a big reason that I quit a year ago, is because they put me on weight restriction. And while they probably would have worked with me, they were a little bit resentful about doing that. And so I was like, it's just better if I just leave on my own terms. So that's what I did. So I'm trying to find something that will work for here, or to just kind of get YouTube fully up and off the ground. So originally I had quit at Taco Bell because the person I was with had encouraged it, and also my brothers were a bit, and my dad were a bit concerned for my physical health and my mental health, because there were some things that were going on behind the scenes that I didn't talk about, and I'm not going to talk about here, but they was making it so that like I would get done with I think I was working 4 days a week at that time, and I would get done with my 4 days a week, and I would just be dead for like the next 2 days. Like I was not doing anything. I was just sleeping a lot, and it was to a point where it was really impacting my mental and my physical health. So I believed that this person was going to be willing and able to do what they said they were going to do in helping with groceries, and the amount of money that I had every week to get said groceries was less than half of what I would usually have needed. It was like a third of like what I needed in order to purchase groceries. Is a third less than a half? I don't know, but it was less than half. Okay, it was less than half, a fourth maybe, but less than half of what I usually, like what I was using when I was working full, like what would be considered full-time, because I was technically working full-time, in my grocery bill. So not only did it cut my groceries way down, but money was also used as a manipulation and as a weapon. And so because of that, I got myself in a space, and I'm aware that I got myself in a space that I should not have put myself in. And I have had a lot of friends that said, like, you couldn't have known that this is what was going to happen. This person like reassured you that this would not happen. But I still feel very stupid for putting myself into that situation. It's a thing that I'm working through that. So because I put myself in that situation, now the income that I had, even though it was not substantial, is gone. So now we're trying to figure out how to make up for that income, and that has been difficult. People have asked how they can help, and I don't know. I'm not good at asking for help or seeking help. In 2024, when we, at the end of 2023 into 2024, when Ari and I ended up having to move from Indiana back home, the only reason that things like the Amazon wish list, where there was extra stuff on there like clothes and things like that, the only reason that that was even a thing is because I had friends, I think Brianna and Margaret were the two that were like the most encouraging about like, just put the stuff that you guys need on there. I'm not good at asking for help. I'm not good at like asking you to support things. What I'm good at is survival mode. That's that's what I'm good at. And so when things start to look out of control, or they get out of control, I just kind of go into survival mode and I figure it out. It's actually really hard for me to even talk about this in this video, because I kind of feel like I'm failing. And because I feel like that, I don't want to ask people to help me get out of a rut that I feel like I put myself into. Yeah, because I feel like I trusted someone that I clearly should not have. And because I did that, I feel like now like I've done this to myself, and not necessarily that anyone has done it to me, you know? So I'm having some trouble asking people for help, because I feel like I'm not necessarily worthy of the help. But I guess if people really wanted to help, Patreon is down below. I am going to sit down and I am going to figure out a schedule for things to go up on Patreon. Patreon deserves a weekly video. That is my goal. There will be a video up on Monday. I don't know what that video will be for Patreon. It may just be one of the old Week in the Life vlogs, but there will be a video up on Mondays from now on over on Patreon. And I'm going to figure out how to do once weekly sprints on Patreon as well. So we're going to do that. And then I am also going to figure out, I do have my weekly video that goes up on YouTube, which is my Tuesday video. That's a guaranteed video, because that's my like coffee chat video. Next week there will be some other videos going up. There will be like a Kindle Unlimited, or not Kindle Unlimited, an Ultimate Kindle video, where I will be talking about both of my Kindles, both my baby Kindle and my my larger Paperwhite, now that I've used both for a little bit of time. So we'll be doing that. And then there will be some other like sit down style videos that will also be going up in the next couple of weeks that I just need to sit down, film, and edit. This video is going up as soon as I can get it uploaded, like edited and uploaded. I'm hoping there won't be a lot of editing for this. There is a link for the Buy Me a Coffee app. I know that that comes out every Wednesday. Like they process payments for that every Wednesday. So if you wanted to do just like, I think you can subscribe to that as well, like kind of like with Patreon, but I'm not giving any bonus stuff over there because I don't really know how that works. I set it up as a way for people to do like a one-time donation. I do have like Venmo and PayPal, which like I guess if you want to do a one-time donation for that, I could include that in the description. I'll put that in the description of this video, but please like don't feel obligated. There's also like my bonfire store, which that will be switching to a different, I'll be switching to a different company soon, but my bonfire store is still open. So I mean, if you wanted to buy merch, I have it priced as low as I possibly can, just because like I don't necessarily think my merch is like great, and I haven't changed out the I haven't updated any of the merch in a while. So but there is merch down there if you want, like if you want to purchase some merch, that's a way to help. Otherwise, like there are things on our wish lists if you wanted to do that. Gift cards, I guess. I've had a couple of people ask if they could send like Amazon, like virtual Amazon gift cards. That is an option. If you do that, then what I will do is I will just use like the Amazon grocery, and whatever Amazon gift cards I get, unless you specify that you want me to use it for something else, will go towards purchasing things through Amazon grocery, because I can get that delivered to where I live. I live in a very rural area, and so like Walmart is our only like delivery option. So I mean, I guess if you're a person who wants to do like a Walmart gift card, I'll leave like my email down below as well, and you could send it that way. I just don't really know how to have people help, because like DoorDash is not like really a thing here. I've had people ask about DoorDash to help with like food and stuff, but that's not, I mean, we technically have DoorDash, but it's like ungodly expensive, because it's not worth paying for like DoorDash premium or whatever it is. It's not worth that here, because while we have places that do DoorDash, we only have I think 4 DoorDashers in the entire town, and it's just the pricing is so crazy. So those are some options, I guess, if you're really wanting to help. I don't know, I'm coming up with some other solutions just to get us through the hump until I can figure something else out. But right now it's just a struggle. So I'm going to be really like honing in to YouTube. I tend to self-isolate, and unfortunately that doesn't work out well for YouTube, because I have to be, if I'm going to be doing YouTube, I have to be on camera, and I have to be talking, and I have to do all of that. So and sometimes it's hard for me to do that if I'm not feeling like 100%. But I do have some videos that I have planned for like after. Right now I'm really focusing on this month-long challenge, but I have other videos that I'm working on in the background. Like I'm working on another episode of KU Clean Out. I'm working on an episode of reading my friend's favorite books. That's taking longer than I was anticipating it to, but I'm just really buckling down on like getting actual deadlines for things, because that's the biggest problem, is that I've told myself like, oh well, they'll come out when they come out. But I think that I need to have some kind of, even if I don't stick to the deadline, I need to have a deadline in my brain, so that when I look at my planner every week, I can say, okay, you want this video to be out by this date, and you still have 4 books to read. And that way I can focus on that project when I need to. So that is kind of where I'm at. I hope that this made sense. This was a really hard video for me to make, because I don't like seeming like I need help. I would just prefer to be able to do things on my own, but that's where we're at. So I guess if you have any questions, leave them down below. thank you as always to my patrons that continue to stick around even though I have failed at giving you what I have promised to give you. That is going to be changing. I am going to be making myself a really good schedule and just get things out to you when I can. And yeah, that's really all that I have for this video. If you watched to the end, leave some kind of like encouragement emoji, I guess, hearts or stars or something down below, and I will see y'all very soon in my next one. Bye.